I do think that for like larger events, it's kind of harder to do all PCs, all Steam Decks, all laptops, whatever. Like it's probably got to be significantly harder, unless these companies, first two, so true. Unless these companies decide that they're going to go for like a pre-built company route and they just buy PCs that are good now and use them for the next few years, right? I think the difference between buying a brand new PC right now, like a pre-built, and buying a PS5 is if something goes wrong in said pre-built, you can change it out. Even if the pre-built is a piece of shit. Like, don't buy a piece of shit pre-built, right? Like, I don't know, buy like CyberPower, buy some CyberPower PCs or MSI PCs or Acer PCs, right? Like something like that. Buy something, buy a large quantity of them for your giant event and have maintenance people on hand and maintenance said PCs after the event as well. And then if we get further into the generation, hey, thank you so much for the first right now. Thank you so much for the gifted sub. I appreciate that. And we get further into the generation and there's like a PS5 Pro and an Xbox Series XS, right? Where there's like mid-generation refreshes. Well, I don't think that that's going to be necessary this generation because like these consoles did not launch woefully underpowered. The PS4 and the Xbox Series and the Xbox One were like woefully underpowered when they launched. They were based off of architecture from the year before and mid-range architecture at that. Instead, the PS4, the PS5, and the Xbox Series consoles, they're very much closer related to something like a 3070, which I don't think is just going to get like power crept out of existence in the next 5 years, right? Console generations usually last about 7 years, 7 to 8 years. So let's say it lasts that long. Let's say it lasts about 7 years. I don't think the 3070 will be a dead GPU in 7 years. It might be getting close, but I don't think that it'll be dead. And I think that that's the big deal here is if they build 3080 Ti or 3090 PCs right now, 4090 PCs right now, they do that. And they use these things for big fighting game events and just keep them you guys are hilarious, and just keep them maintenance and well maintained. I don't see why they couldn't continually use those PCs for years to come. Fresh hardware on the horizon, right? We got the new Intel platform just coming out, the 13th gen. Get a 13th gen i9, 13th gen i7, right? The 4090's out, so soon we're gonna get the 4090 Ti, the 4080, the 4080 Ti, the 4070, 4070 Super, 4060, right? I'm sure if they get something mid-range even and start putting together like 4060 Super PCs or 4070 PCs with like 16 gigs or 32 gigs of RAM and an i7 or an i5, these computers are gonna last them years. They're going to last them so many more years and be better for the competition than a PS5 ever will be. As a matter of fact, I think there's something I wanted to look at. You put 60. What's 60? Whoa. Hey, do I look a little 60 today? What did someone say the GPU? People have been doing... Ooh, that's... Okay, that's probably worse than I thought. So I didn't realize this. Okay, so it's people are saying that the performance of PS5 is related closely to an RTX 2070. Now, if we look at the Xbox Series X, I believe it's like a 3070. Oh, 2070 Super. So these are based off like with 2019, 2020 architecture. Not bad. I thought it was 3070. My fault. They're based off of 2070. My bad. I got that wrong. Go ahead and scratch that. Take it back. Rewind it. I don't know what this song is, by the way, but it's spoopy. Oh, I know whose theme this is. This is Lion's theme, right? From Virtua Fighter 5? Yeah, it's Lion's theme. And if I show you guys something really funny. Can you guys read that? I don't know if you guys can read that. So, fuck Lion? Yeah. So, The PS5 and the Xbox Series X are very, very, very closely matched together. They're this far apart, right? Like a 2070 and a 2070 Super, not really that far apart. A 2070 Super is like maybe like 16% or like 13% slower than something like a 2080, right? With the same amount of VRAM as 20. I think they all have 8 gigs, except the 2060 base that has 6. Anyways, instead, the Series S is not even based off of architecture closely related to the 20 series or 5700 or 50,000 series AMD cards. It's more closely related to the GTX 10 series cards. People are saying that the GPU for the Xbox Series, like in hardware tests, it would be closer to a GTX 1063 gig. Not even the 6 gig. Okay, I'm not trying to yell, I'm not trying to be loud, I'm not trying to get obnoxious. That is woefully underpowered. For $300 or whatever, because it's $299, right? I get it. Okay, you gotta squeeze as much performance as you can out of that. The 1060 is still a pretty nice low-end GPU. It's not the worst thing in the world. But like, that could bottleneck an entire generation of games. That is a huge performance difference. A huge performance difference. Like, that could bottleneck an entire generation on consoles. I'm already terrified that the FGC is going to stick with console and that we're going to be bottlenecked. And that we might... And you know, it's funny that I see this right here. This NVIDIA GTX 1060 is the Xbox Series X equivalent GPU. And if we look at Street Fighter 6's... It didn't hit me until after I looked that up. It didn't hit me until after I looked up the GPU equivalent for the Xbox Series S. If we look at the hardware requirements on PC for the minimum spec of Street Fighter 6 for the beta, would you look at that? It's a 1060. And if you look at the recommended, would you look at that? It's a 2070. So, for the recommended specs, they're recommending that you play on a PS5, an Xbox Series X, or a fucking computer that is as strong as an Xbox Series X or a PS5, right? That's what they're saying. For minimum, they're saying, please don't play on the PS4. It's gonna scream at you. The PS4's hardware is, hold on, I'll be right back. Found it. My laptop can run that? I know. That's what I'm telling you. You just need more RAM. You just need to get the 16 gigs, brother. I'm telling you. So, you guys are probably wondering why I have a GPU in my hand. And it's because I've been meaning to do something with this and the motherboard CPU combo with like 8 gigs of RAM I have sitting at the top of my closet. This, my friends, my lovely little friends, is a piece of hardware from 2012. This is basically the equivalent GPU. I've been meaning to try it because it's basically the equivalent GPU of a PS4. This is the Radeon HD AMD 7870. That's what this is. This is not listed as the minimum spec, and yet they still decided to put Street Fighter 6 on PS4. It is going to run like a hot ass, like dookie butter. It's either gonna run like hot ass, destroy your PS4, or make it sound like a fucking jet engine. That's what we're getting. Now, I've been meaning to actually use this so I can put it in a build and like test old PS4 games, like PS4 games from when from PS4 first came out, because a lot of those are on PC now. I can get them for like a good deal. So I've been meaning to like put this in a system that would have been around the same strength as a PS4, right? So I'm not gonna pair this with like a Ryzen 7 5800 or whatever. I'm not doing that, or like a Ryzen 7 3700X. I would put this with something like, I don't know, a fucking i5 4400, 44. What is it, 4470K, 4450K, whatever the fuck they're called? Like a 4th gen or a 5th gen i5 with this. And we'll see how it would run games when the PS4 first came out. Ooh. Hey. Camera. When the PS4 first came out, and then these final PS4 games. Right? This isn't even minimum system requirement to launch Street Fighter 6. If I build a computer around this, and it can't even launch Street Fighter 6, it's gonna be really funny. Because, like, this is basically the PS4's hardware, and it doesn't run on PC, but it runs on console, but it's gonna be ass. Because they're stretching the limits of that console to like no end. It's terrifying. I am scared for everyone's base PS4 when they pick up Street Fighter 6 and think that their PS4 is gonna run it great. I'm terrified. That's funny because this is an XFX Ghost card, and you just made Hatcherilla look like a ghost. This card's like $30. It's not much. Don't worry, I'm not like hoarding GPUs at the top of my closet. And like, don't worry, I'm not causing the GPU crisis to start again. This thing is from 2012. Don't worry. I'll put that up where it belongs in a little bit. Yeah, and I am very proud of, I never thought I'd say this. I'm very proud of Harada and the Tekken team. I'm very proud of Harada and the Tekken team. And there's a reason for that. Harada and the Tekken team refused to put Tekken 8 on PS4. Do you know why? Because it's on Unreal Engine 5, that shit is intensive, and they don't want to go blowing up PS4s or ruining the vision of their fucking game. And I am so happy about that. Now, if you could just somehow please make rollback netcode actually work in the game, that'd be lovely. Gonna look like an episode of Mythbusters when they try to run it? Yeah, I'm afraid for everyone who like tries to run Street Fighter 6 on their the PS4 Slim can do it, bro. Yeah, if it wants to sound like a fucking jet engine, it can. This card is so ancient, by the way. I want to show you guys something. This still has DVI ports. I know you are. You're a demon. This thing still has DVI ports. Also, this card was not a mid-range card. I think the PS4's was based off of like the 7850, 7870. This one's technically stronger, but it's fine. We'll give it a fighting chance, huh? This thing has 2 mini display ports, an HDMI port, and 2 DVI ports. This is a 5 monitor 5 monitor graphics card in 2012. That's crazy. We have advanced so much that this shit would probably not even be able to run 2 monitors anymore. It could probably start on 2 monitors. I say the same thing about the old GPU I used to have in the system that Aliette gave me. The 970, it had like 4 display outs on it, and I was like, I'm never gonna try more than 2. Like I refused. Yeah, I think so. I might wait until the winter, right? If Street Fighter 6 comes out like late February, early March. I live in Texas. It's gonna be warm here by then. They waited too long. So I'm gonna have to wait until the great freeze of like 2023 at the end of the year. And I'll just try to heat up my entire apartment by playing Street Fighter 6 on PS4 Slim. Yeah, we'll try it. Ooh, is that a space heater? No, bro, it's my PS4 running Street Fighter 6. Isn't it great? It's really toasty here. I'm sorry, man. My PS4 it's trying its best. Yeah. So I'm glad that they're not doing that for Tekken 7. I mean Tekken 8. I'm really glad that Tekken 8 instead they're sticking to their guns. Is that right? Yeah, I'm doing that right. Damn. 1050. 1063 good. Don't even need house units to heat the house. Yeah, man, you would be wasting even more electricity because I think your PS4 is gonna be maxing out its fucking power usage trying to run this game. Let me see how much a 2070 is right now. That's not bad. Oh, that's a fucking 2060. A 3050 is significantly worse than a 2070, right? Word, $400? See, but you can, like, I can understand the appeal of console because, like, look at this, right? The equivalent GPU of, like, the Xbox Series consoles is, like, Super Saiyan 4. Super Saiyan PS4 finna go further beyond? I thought you said Super Saiyan 4 PS4, and I would have also laughed. It changes nothing. I don't know if my PS4 can run Lost Judgment and go into Sonic. I don't know. My PS4 can run Lost Judgment and go into Sonic the Fighters. It runs fine as long as I don't stay in the main game. Are you like doing math? What's happening? No, I'm saying the 3050 is worse than a 2070. But what I was gonna say is, like, if you look at the cost of this, right? Like, it's 407. It's 410 bucks for a 2070. 450 bucks Amazon renewed for a 2070 Super. That's like really fucking expensive when you're just looking at one part for the PC, right? Like, so I understand wanting the simplicity of console as like a casual. Like, I get it. I understand it doesn't go over my head. I also have a console. It's right under my main monitor that I never turn on anymore ever. Okay, like I have a console. I get it. I played on console forever. I really didn't want to move to PC. I moved to PC. I loved it. It was great. And then I bought a better PC than what I had before. Sure, the problem was getting in the door of PC is really expensive if you don't have someone who will help you put one together. You don't have the means to save for one, or if you don't have a friend who just has old parts lying around that they will give you, okay? Like, I get it. But once you get that cost out of the way, because the difference is you're buying a $700 console all at once. You're like, $700, boom, out the door, good to go. You can buy each individual part for your PC. You can save up my PC, okay? You can do that. It's real. Greasy PC, that's what I'm always saying. Greasy? I don't have a greasy PC. Why is your greasy piece? Stop it. Damn it. Why? Stop it. Anyways, once you get in the door, using a PC, you won't have that PS Plus or that Xbox Live anymore. You won't need that. You won't need to pay $10, $15 a month, $70 a year just to play online. You won't need that. You don't need it anymore. It'll feel so much better. And if anything's ever going wrong with your PC, you just replace the part instead of replacing the entire console. Paying for really, really, really expensive repair costs on consoles because they're proprietary hardware. So that's just how I feel about it. Even a lot of pre-builts, right? A lot of very well-known like office computer PCs, right? Like a Dell PC or an HP or a Lenovo. Okay, even those kinds of gaming PCs are still more customizable and repairable than a console. I have an HP Pavilion down here, and if something goes wrong with it, I'm replacing said part. I'm not gonna act like I have some super high-end PC, but I have a PC that works for me, and if I need to upgrade parts, I can, and I will, and I'm going to. Before Street Fighter 6 comes out, I'm getting a 2060 Super, so that I'm right under minimum spec, 32 gigs of RAM, and a Ryzen 7 3700X. I'm doing that, so that I'm very close to these specs. Very close. Oh, I'll be above spec on the CPU. I already have that. Or I have a 3500 rather, but my bad, I was supposed to flip back to this. The CPU is a Ryzen 5 3600. I have a 3500. So I'm like already right under anyway, so it's fine, it's fine. My VRAM on the other hand, I have a 4 gig video card. We should fix that.